fade this lo-fi music out. There we go. Happy Monday!
Happy Monday.
I saw we're gonna have fancy lattes, but I just have my old Dunkin' Donuts cup with water and oregano oil inside of it.
I still have my latte from this morning. And some water.
I did have a nice espresso served by barista Raina. Thank you.
At the Latte Vita Cafe.
Mm-hmm.
That's our house.
It's the best cafe in the town, I think. So today's Monday. We have a few things on the agenda. Thanks for joining us. It's going to be a beautiful day. It looks like high of 68 here in upstate New York. Not too hot, not too cold. Mm-hmm. Sun's out. Rain is gone. Probably time to mow the lawn soon.
Yeah, definitely. The rain has really helped our grass a lot, but it seems like we have to mow it every 3 days.
Yeah, I know. It takes so long, though. You got a front yard, a backyard. It takes like an hour and a half. It's a good exercise, though. Just get my steps in. Speaking of, where is my Apple Watch? Anyways, whatever.
So today is actually National Ballpoint Pen Day, and I don't know if that means anything to anybody. I don't. For us, we don't really use pens except to sign checks and things, but it does show how far. I feel like in the 90s we used pens. We relied on pens a lot, and now we're more digital, and even signing through like DocuSign, is that?
Yeah, DocuSign.
Yeah, everything seems to be digital, but
yeah, even writing at all, my hand hurts after I do like a card. If I'm like writing a card, happy birthday, love tone. And by the time I get to the toning part, my hands, I'm not used to we're used to typing.
Yeah, definitely. But it brought a question up, like, what does it take to get a national day? Because if you look at all the national social media days, and if there's some really just odd ones out there, and I was just wondering, I'm like, how?
Yeah, I could look it up.
How do you get a national day? What does it take to get one?
Let me see. I can share the our browser. There we go. What does it take to get a national day? Let's see. We got register a national day. Want to make a big splash. How to create a national day. Apply now. So it looks like you can do it.
Yeah, so
on a national day. Is this like the official one? Or is there another one? National Day.
No, I think this is it. So you can register a national day. Usually there's like an AI overview. Let me pull it up. I just pulled it up here.
Okay.
So apparently you can submit an application to the National Day calendar to create a new national day, week, or month. Apparently the process is confidential, and the selection committee receives over 20,000 applications a year, selecting around 30. So the review process usually takes 4 to 6 weeks. And if your application is selected, you'll receive an email with instructions on how to proceed, which is pretty cool to think that you can create your own national day. I think we should do this.
Yeah, no, we can.
I don't know what the national day would be, but it's
national
something that
3-tone day
we could look into.
Yeah, it's also National Frosted Cookie Day. Egg roll. I'm not a big fan of egg rolls.
I like spring rolls.
All my spring rolls. Herbs and Spices Day. Black Cow. Never had it. Iced tea. We had some iced tea last night. We had a date. Went get iced tea. Sun date. Bavarian pretzels. And there it is. National Ballpoint Pen Day.
Does it say anything about it? Probably. Like if this was when it was created, or
1943. Well, yeah, look, patent June 10th, 1943.
Okay, so it was created
today. It commemorates the anniversary of the patent.
Oh, okay,
that's pretty cool.
Well, learn something new.
Yep, every day.
All right, so let's get into our agenda here.
Yeah, let's see what we got.
So today we're going to highlight one of our clients, and it's a local client, and right here in Clifton Park, Artique Co-op.
Artique. Let me open that site up. Somebody this site is like ads galore.
Yeah, so Artique is right on
I always look them up.
Crescent Road, and it is a very unique place to go. You walk in, and there tons of different options for any occasion. There's all different vendors with all different talents, and they have their own booths and stations, and a lot of them are just artisans and small businesses that are working on their craft and what they're good at and selling it as a product. And there's others that are like super designers where they take something and then renovate it and it turns into this beautiful art piece. So if you haven't gone, you should definitely check it out if you're local. So Artique, I'll show you where Artique used to be. Their website needed some help. So there's a tool called the Wayback Machine, and Tony's going to pull it up,
Wayback.
where you can kind of go back in time and look at any website. So to kind of show you what they were working with before, if you want to click on.
Yeah, and you can enter your own URL inside of here, and it's going to give you a history. It's not every day. It's going to be times that the site was pinged by this service and then takes screenshots, really, of the HTML. So this is where it was in 2019. This is there. If you click around, things might be broken. I'm not sure, but you can always see the front page, at least, depending on how popular the site is.
Yeah, so it was really just a page to show this is where we're located. They wanted to highlight some of the products that were at the store. And this is kind of what it was looking like before. WordPress site using a template. But fast forward to today.
It was pretty crazy looking mobile too.
Not very mobile friendly.
Yeah, and then delete that. This is where it is today.
Yeah, so we wanted to really bring it up to modern with a modern header image. All the pictures are authentic to the store. So these are actual images of products at the store. And the unique thing about Artique is that things are always being refreshed each week by each vendor. So you'll go in there one week and then you'll see a new products on the shelves or from the artists. So it's a really, really, as you can see, we're using a parallax. That's what it looks like there behind those boxes. So you're using two different blocks to create that functionality of a picture behind an image. And then this is just a grid layout of some of the different products there at Artique. So really just taking what they had and bringing it up to modern times and making sure that it's displayed in a better way.
Yeah, and this is mobile responsive, definitely more so than the last one. Yeah, and all these images are optimized. They're WebP, so it's fast page speed score. Looks great on mobile.
And another feature for the new site that they wanted to highlight is about the vendors. So Artique is all about the vendors. They're the ones that provide the products, and wanted to really highlight them, the artisans and the makers there. So these are just a couple. It's made up of a lot more vendors.
This girl.
I'm a vendor actually at Artique, but it's just very unique stuff. Whether vintage, paintings, art, unique jewelry, handmade jewelry. If you know, this is a place to go to support local businesses, artisans, and makers. They're really doing what they love to do and sharing that with the community. So I'm happy to be part of Artique, and I love to talk about them, and so glad that we could help really elevate their website presence.
Yeah, it's a cool store. I'm not so much into crafting, but every time we go there, I do go in and check it out, check out the new stuff, go to the back section with our son who loves the toy section.
Yeah, they have stuff for kids in there. There is a kids section in the back. So it's like for any age.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's an animation too that pops up. Definitely a night and day from this to where it is today.
Yeah, and one other thing is they do have a second location at the mall, Crossgates, and that's where they are working on certain events. They have certain events that they do with some of the makers there. And we added an events calendar to the site. So that's one of the new additions. And I don't know if there's any events going on right now, but when there is, it would be posted here and creating an integration between being able for a user to come on the site, and if they want to join the event and it's a paid event, they'll be able to purchase and then go to the event. So that was another integration that we added the ability to do.
Yeah, it's actually the most important integration. I know you said it's like the last thing, but it is possible to sell your own events and registrations from your own site and accept credit cards, everything right there easily now. It used to be hard. You have to have some kind of commerce system, but with WordPress, our thing, it's a lot easier and able to be set up on your own. You own it. You're not using a different third-party system to take registrations, pay them a subscription or something. So these things can be done on a site, and they do events and they do get signups right on the site.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is our client Artique, and we just wanted to share what they're doing for our local community and what we did for them. And if you're local, definitely suggest going to Artique and kind of experience it. It's an experience. So you should definitely go and walk through. You might be there for an hour.
Yeah.
You're going through all the different things. So
Yeah, it's one of those places that each booth is small, so each vendor has their own style of things that they do. Art, some food too.
oh yeah, they have the spaghetti sauce.
Oh yeah, Dominic's.
Is it Dominic's?
Yeah, I think it's called Dominic's. We got the best spaghetti sauce the other day, though. I call it gravy. What was the name of it? A burrito. We'll feature it sometime on the show. We'll do like a cooking
segment.
Yeah, we should.
Actually, it would be good to do with highlighting a restaurant.
Exactly.
Client.
That's what I was gonna say. We can say this is our food episode. We'll eat pasta during it, highlight marked or COC, and yeah, that's a good idea. So we'll save that. We won't get into that right now, but it is good spaghetti sauce. Speaking
one other thing is another update for Artique is they were on GoDaddy and we switched them off to a more reliable hosting provider.
Which was WP Engine?
WP Engine.
Yeah, we're affiliates with WP Engine and Kinsta. They're way better than GoDaddy. We've had people go to GoDaddy because it's easy, it's advertised, there's commercials, and it sounds trusted because it's been around for so long. But their service for things like WordPress or even hosting or emails are expensive, shifty at best. You don't know where you're going to get. A lot of the sites I deal with that are hacked every time I get a client that's like, our site was whatever, something's wrong with it, I say, is it on GoDaddy? And it's usually 90% of the time they're like, yeah. And so we do try to get everybody off GoDaddy. The speed is better. It happened with this site, Artique, where they were hosted on GoDaddy, slow, and
there's just always some type of issue with it. And you're paying for a reliable service. And if you're not getting that, then that is something that should indicate you should make a change.
Yeah, and they're expensive. I remember, like, we don't use them that much. So when we do get the news of pricing, it's usually through clients. And I think each email they charge, it's like $12 a month. I know it doesn't sound expensive, but each email is that. And then over the course of a year, you're spending hundreds. where you can get an email at something like Namecheap for a lot cheaper, and you get 3 of them. It's crazy, and people do it because it's packaged, you know, they're like, "Do you wanna add this? You wanna add security? Do you wanna add" but these are things that are normal in most hosting situations depending on where you go, you know? And they make it upsellable, and I guess that's a great business model, but it winds up costing and performing just worse than any others that we use on a daily basis, so get out
Yeah,
of
so WP Engine, and then we also are affiliates with Kinsta. And Kinsta, what I love about Kinsta is the support. I think they have reliable support. They're proactive in letting you know if there's any vulnerabilities with any of the plugins on your site. I've just had a great experiences and really horror stories of things getting hacked, and the quickness and responsiveness is so important. And there's no like lag time or waiting or any type of confusion there. They're straight to the point, and then they get back to you so quickly. And same with WP Engine. So Kinsta and WP Engine are like our go-to providers for hosting.
Yeah, for managed WordPress hosting. Other things like we use SiteGround for PHP apps and things like that. But if it's managed WordPress, they take backups every day. They have like a staging environment that you can push down to and test. And they have different plugins that are meant for WordPress sites to make them faster. So that's why I think that we go with because you can set these sites up anywhere. It's you own it. It's a WordPress site. You can put it on SiteGround. It's cheaper, really, but these managed WordPress services are really meant for WordPress sites and for you to go in there and say, "Oops, I messed it up. Let me roll back," or "Let me log in right from the UI," which is a really cool feature when it works, which is most of the time. Just you don't even need to know your password. You say login, goes right to it.
And a quick tip is anytime you're updating your website, you should always take a backup. And Kinsta and WP Engine, it's an easy way to take a backup. It's a click of a button just before, so you can capture whatever you have, because anything can happen with themes. And if you have a developer developing in a certain way, sometimes if you update the actual theme, then it can override existing styles. So you always want to make sure to update. Before updating, you back up your website, and they make it easy to do that.
Yeah, they even
They have automated too.
yeah, they do have automated services that you can. Is it an upgrade? I think Kinsta you don't have to upgrade, but WP Engine, I'm
No.
not sure, but usually we like to do it ourselves just to make sure everything's kosher. You can, but like Rana said, back it up first. Even if it's like small changes, we back it up because I've been in situations where you do one thing and you have no backup and you're working hours to get that thing back into like a functional working site just because of one update to a plugin. Usually some kind of weird plugin that isn't doesn't play well with the updates of the site, like core or plugin site updates. Yeah, those are cool. The great services, and we're affiliates. So if you do need hosting, you can go with us. You get 4 months free. Um, we also are able to manage hosting ourselves, so take it off the plate of you signing up. We just set up an environment. We give you access to it, admin access, and it's off your plate. But you can also sign up and do your own hosting.
And a lot of times, most people don't want to deal with it, deal with even hosting it. So it's like a relief knowing that the people that are developing or building your site they're also managing it on the day to day. We go in there, we have a routine where we do maintenance on the server and make sure that the PHP version is the latest, and making sure that the backups are taken. And if signed up with a maintenance plan, we make sure your forms are always working, because I'm telling you, like, there could be one update and then it might break something on your form. And if nobody's checking it, then that could be a mislead, so you don't want that for your business. So that's why maintenance is so important. And we always try to say, if we're not doing it, we encourage the clients to do maintenance on their sites.
Yeah, and a lot of these services like WP Engine and Kinsta send out an email saying, "Hey, you have a site, a plugin that is security patch." So you go, it'll alert you saying, "Get in there and update this now because there's security issue." Or even once a week they send out a thing. Your site has 5, so that's cool to have too.
Yeah, and WordPress itself has their own vulnerability email, which where we get that sent right to our email where there's any security vulnerabilities, security patches that are going to be run by a specific plugin, they notify us. So we get that on top of the hosting emails from the hosting provider. So those are just things that we refer to when we're also maintaining sites to make sure that they're always secure.
Yeah, and I follow a Twitter account that has all the patches that come in, which is really helpful because I'm on Twitter too much. Or I'd rather get my updates from Twitter than email, right?
Yeah, sometimes it's easier that way, especially for things like that.
So far we have Ballpoint, Happy Ballpoint Pen Day. Oh, you can create your own national holiday. This is just a rundown. You should visit Artique if you live in Clifton Park or in this area because they're in Crossgates Mall in Albany. It's a cool store.
And Clifton Park.
I think I said that. And then don't go GoDaddy because we are affiliates with WP Engine and Kinsta, right? And yeah, I was gonna just talk about local SEO just for a second because with Artique, what we are local. We do promote to local because most when you're fighting against a global competition, especially as web designers, unless you're doing Google Ads, you're not going to show up. Like you're going to say, find a web designer, and it's going to show New York City, Los Angeles, big mega marketing agencies. So we do focus on local SEO, and one of the things that we've done with Artique is optimize it for local SEO using. Not to go back to JSON schema, that was our first thing here. JSON schema, which tells Google where a location is or where multiple locations are. It gives like pricing, hours, and things like that for Google to ingest and to use, like you saw on the screen earlier. That when you search, and just bring that up again, Artique, you're going to see the business here, the site at the top. But when you start to search other things, like crafts in Clifton Park and stuff like that, that's where local SEO actually matters. Where somebody's not searching the brand name, that maybe they don't know what Artique is, but they do want to find local handmade kind of stuff. That's where local SEO comes into play. All right.
Yeah.
And there's lots of methods to do it. There's but Google Maps, if you don't have a Google business account already and you have a business, definitely get on that because that increases the view of it. Once you Google search and you see that in the right sidebar, you're more apt to click through there than look through results or AI generated results even. And there's tons of things you could do to get your listing in there and then to optimize. What is this fuzz that's flying around? Do you see it?
No,
Something
it's probably pollen. There's been a real big pollen. I don't know what to call
pollination, I think they call it.
Like anytime I go outside, there's just pollen flying at my eyes everywhere, and it just looks like cotton coming through the sky. We went to the market the other day, and it was like we walked in, and there's just like a whole thing of pollen just right in the entryway.
I think I took a picture.
And it was crazy. I was like, I don't remember this as a kid with like all this pollen. I don't remember this even as a teenager, college person. Seeing this pollen in this area is crazy.
Yeah, I think it's the area. I think it's because there's a lot of trees around here. You know.
Yeah. I do remember like probably 10 years ago when we had that remember that what was happening in Rhode Island with the moths? And they were like on every tree.
Yeah, it happened in the 80s or early 90s too. You weren't in Rhode Island, but they had a parrot infestation. Did you know about that?
No.
I think a parrot truck flipped over, and then there was these beautiful parrots that were everywhere, and they were, like, congregating in Rocky Point and Warwick, Rhode Island, and
What?
yeah, like, in the trees. We gotta look it up.
Yeah, that was in the 80s?
Maybe the 90s.
Oh, that is really crazy.
Yeah, let me see. Rhode Island parrot. What do we call it? Infestation? Parrots. Huh. Am I dreaming? I believe
That seems pretty wild.
in
Usually,
tree.
like, when an animal escapes from the zoo, they'll be like, "An elephant is out."
Yeah.
Or some type of usually it's, what was the recent one we saw?
I don't know.
A wolf or something?
Oh,
Wasn't there, like, a recent escape of a
in Rhode Island or anywhere?
anywhere? I feel like there was one in
There
New
was a
York.
moose, yeah, over here. There was a moose, remember? Or an elk? No, it was a moose because they were saying moose on the loose, moose on the loose.
From
I'm sure there's
zoo.
more animals too.
Yeah. Owls, that's a common one.
Yeah, we hear an owl every morning over here.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Flacco.
Waka flocka.
I don't know what that is. What is that?
It's a rapper.
Oh, I think it is, well, it's an owl
Oh.
in the Central Park Zoo. Flacco, the escaped Central Park Zoo owl, has died. That happened in New York 3 months ago. Anyway, sorry to interrupt your
Wait, who died?
Flacco.
Who?
I used to do I'm like, "Wait, what? Like, he can't hear me?"
Thanks.
Ooh. Anyways, what were you saying about local SEO? I'm sorry if I cut you off.
I don't know. It's important.
It is important.
TLDR, local SEO is important.
Yeah, there's opportunities there if someone searches, and we usually wanna work with people in the area to be able to have certain headlines in place and using schema, which is code you can't see, that helps, get found, really.
Yeah, and optimizing content towards the locations too. And having individual pages, I think, is important. If you have multiple locations in an area, kind of like Artique does, saying like this page is for this and it's optimized for that location. This one is for this and it's optimized for that location, is really helpful to Google to know where you're, and especially when you search near me, that's really what people are searching. They don't say I searched it Clifton Park, but really when you search near me, it's substituting the near me for your location if that's turned on, which usually it is if you're logged into a browser or whatever you're searching from. So you'll say coffee shops near me. It knows near me for us, at least is Clifton Park, and for you it's different. So it in the back end replaces that near me with the location.
Exactly.
I think
Good
that's
job. Great job.
Thanks. I work for Google now. What am I gonna say? Yeah. Well, we're up to 30 minutes. Look at that.
Yeah.
And today is our 7th streak day. We started on last Monday and we did it even through the weekend.
I know. We're live every day for 7 days, which is an accomplishment. Anytime you set out to do something and you do it consistently, it's a small win, but big win for us because something new.
Yeah.
Where's the confetti? I thought you were going to throw confetti.
No, nothing. This duck can fly by. 7 days. Maybe that's not the right. We have ducks that we talk to. They say you're supposed to have a duck when you have a coding problem. You can explain it. Well, this duck has a mohawk, but if you explain the coding problem, this is pre-ChatGPT, so took its place. But if you have a problem, you can explain it to the duck, and the duck, it listens to you, obviously, because it's inanimate, and the answer will come to you. It's a healthier thing than ChatGPT because ChatGPT is giving you the answers. Otherwise, the duck in your head really is giving you the answer. So Maybe stick to the duck instead of asking ChatGPT. I'm telling myself that. It's advice to myself.
Oh.
ChatGPT really coming in hot this year and the year before. I was gonna talk about real quick, I know we're wow, 30 minutes, but, I don't know if we save it for a whole different like, we have a whole sitcom going on. Uh, LinkedIn, like we said on other ones, we've been getting more into LinkedIn, and what I realized see that dust just flew around again. What I realized that everybody on there is looking for jobs, okay, and a lot of people don't have their own .com domain. Like, I know we're web developers and designers, so it's kinda intertwined with our lives, like, here's our portfolio site. But even everyday people, say an accountant or, I don't know, anything, I believe if I was a hiring manager, I would definitely choose the person with the website over the person that doesn't have a website just based on the fact of more professionalism. So, I'm gonna look more into it and just scope this idea out, but I believe that people should have their own domain, whether it just links out, it has a contact form, it has a little bit of branding, it can have, their resume if they're looking for a job or I had a list of things. The SEO when people are looking for you, and it goes back to that whole ownership thing where you own the website. You're not relying on it the information just being on LinkedIn, just being on, X, Y, and Z, but you say, "Oh, go to my website." You have a QR code that leads right there. So I was just thinking, I'm thinking out loud, but it was last night really, that a lot of these people that are on the site that are looking for jobs, I think they need their own their own websites. It doesn't make sense why they don't in this day and age. No matter the field that they're in, I think it really makes you stand out. It would make me, and I'm not a hiring manager, but when I do hire, and someday in the future, I'm gonna look and I'm gonna say, "Does this person have their own site?" Okay, that's
Mhm.
cool. That makes more sense to me than a random resume or a CV that's being sent out, It's more
Yeah, I think we're in a digital era, so everyone has the ability to have one, and, it's really just owning your own voice too. Like, you should have your own domain name for your name or your business name, and to be able to control what that voice is, and if you're relying just on social platforms and things like that, like, literally this year, I mean, LinkedIn went down, a lot of the social platforms just went down, and then what, right? So having that second platform that you own and is your own voice, is so important for anybody in any profession. There we went to a science fair, Shen Science Fair, and it was about AI, but we also were showing the importance of having a website for students because they're transitioning to become either applying for colleges or they're having their first jobs, and having a way for them to control their voice at an early age and be able to see where they started is something that is definitely a competitive advantage compared to someone who doesn't. Saying I started out here in retail, developing a passion, even having a portfolio if they're an artist, to be able to show what they're working on. There's amazing school projects out there that they do, especially in the Shen district. And to be able to have that digital and show somebody and try to apply to a college or in the future is so to be able to take on that now and have that is really something that we're trying to show is it's possible. It doesn't take too much to get to that point, and we'll have your student child in a better position when they're ready to start their careers. So
Yeah, and if you think about it, getting started earlier, whether it's a student or just someone looking for a job or anybody really, owning it, but having that history, that builds upon it, especially for kids, like, you have a website and then over the course of years, Google is indexing it and stuff and knows exactly who you are, and if Google goes away and ChatGPT and all these AI systems, they're indexing it too, so it's gonna know that John Doe, the child has been doing art or whatever for the course of years, and then they graduate high school, and all this stuff is out there for that person that they're going to be um, like interviewing with or going to college, and they will have that competitive advantage over somebody that just puts it on Dribble or LinkedIn or whatever it is that's owned by something else. And I was just thinking while you're saying that, like, all of these services are going to subscription-based, pay to play, really. You can have these free accounts, but you're not gonna get shown unless you're paying. What link I didn't cancel my LinkedIn premium. It just went through $79 a month. That's insane. Like, I'm gotta cancel it. It was a free thing, but remember it showed up the other day, it said, cancel LinkedIn." $70 a month. It's pay to play. Like, same thing with Twitter, which again, I like Twitter, but it's, you gotta pay for a premium. And Facebook started doing it too, the verified. I think it's $17 a month. All these things combined, might as well just have your own place, especially in terms of showing off or showing your skill, or even just showing who you are, that you're real, and a way to contact you. It's way better to have that than, I think.
Yeah, and we're always going to promote organic too. Like, ideally, you want to create content that people will search for and find organically. You don't have to pay for it. So this is something that you can build over time. It does take time. It's not an instant thing. But now is the time to get it started and own your voice and have that second platform that you own.
Yep. Just like Rage Against the Machine says, what better place than here? What better time than now? Rah! Rah! Yeah, I think that's really important.
That's a good note to
end on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you did the final word today.
Ooh.
You want to repeat it again? I want to.
Ballpoint pens are.
No, the final word.
Just kidding. I don't know. Get a website from us? No. It's important to have your owned voice out there in the form of a website, or especially a mobile website, where somebody, nosy people that are looking for you, people that are looking for your services, can Google and find you without having to rely on social platforms or even these portfolio platforms that own your stuff, and they make money off your stuff with their ads. I'm not saying like whatever, they're going to do what they want with it, but they go away or they upgrade and you have to pay to show you on the algorithm. You're just going down, 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 down. So you might as well own your own thing on your own website. It's easy to set up. Contact us for information. We can help. We can do it all. We can give you guidance. But definitely go ahead and do it. It doesn't matter who you are. Again, I think any industry doesn't have to be web. It doesn't have to be something that you're showing art or sites or things. I can get a list of industries here, but like I said, an accountant, a nurse, anything, just showing who you are. And it's for the future of your own, even a blog, like, or, have a way to write to show your personality as a person. Because when you're on LinkedIn, everybody's trying to just, like the dog and pony show, but if you have a place that says, "Oh, this is me, learn about me and contact me here." That was a long final.
Yeah, I know. We gotta.
I have to work on that.
We'll shorten that next time.
I know.
So own your own voice, and
it's better. Own your own voice.
The final words, and move with purpose. That continues on to be the final words.
Oh yeah. Well, it's like that's like the final word of the whole week.
Yeah.
Move with purpose, Padawan. That's from Star Wars, I think. I don't know Star Wars, but I'm gonna play us out with some music.
Okay.
Some rock music today.
Sure.
Just another manic Monday.
Is that rock?
There's the rock music here.
I hope everyone has a great week and learn
Have a great day. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
We're gonna keep going.